Hi, Professor Giaccona. My name is Matthew McSweeney, and I just wanted to say I really enjoyed the semester learning about Native American music and culture. I found it really interesting, and so I'm just excited to present my presentation. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the Black Lodge singers, powwows, and then gender roles within Native American music. So I'm just going to jump right into it, and I hope you enjoy. So Native American music is a long-standing tradition that Native Americans use today to bring their communities together to establish a common identity. And so Native American music is unique because there's between 1,000 and 2,000 tribal groups in North America, and they almost all speak distinct languages, or at least that's how it used to be. And so I just find it really fascinating just because there's so much history and rich tradition in all of their songs, and it's been passed down through the generations. And so nowadays, in regards to powwows, it's typically an event or a ceremony where several tribes meet in one location to share in song, dance, and socialization. And so I also mentioned that I'd be talking a little bit about the Black Lodge singers. And so they kind of caught my interest just because they're a really well-known northern style drumming group, and they've got a really successful track record. And they've had some incredible hits, and they've been able to kind of incorporate, or they've been able to attract the younger generation by bringing on renditions of modern songs into their singing and dance style. And so, throughout the presentation, as I said, I'm going to discuss the history of the Black Lodge singers and their impact on the Native American music culture, a brief history on powwows, and kind of the Black Lodge singers' roles within powwows. And lastly, I'm going to touch on women's role that they play in the Native American music. And so, the Black Lodge Singers, they're a well-known Native American music group and are often invited to be the host drum at powwows across the nation. And so Kenny Scabby Robe, who's 60 now, formed the group in 1982 with his 12 sons. And his wife is also featured several times on several of their songs. And so, rather than me talking about it, I mentioned that they've been able to incorporate, modern songs into their genre. And so I just want to play two snippets for you. This is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star by the Black Lodge Singers. So that was Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, and as you can tell, you can hear some of the lyrics, and as you notice, the Black Lodge singers incorporate their drum and harmonization into the song, and so they really put a unique twist on it. And as I said, this has just been great in attracting younger generations of kids to really get involved in the rich traditions of the Native American powwow. And so this is the Black Lodge singers singing SpongeBob SquarePants. Here's another little snippet. So that was SpongeBob SquarePants, done by the Black Lodge Singers. And so not only are they well known in the Black Lodge Singers, well known in the Native American community, but they've also been nominated for several Grammy Awards and the NAMMYs, the Native American Music Awards. So they're known not only nationally but almost on a global scale. And the Black Lodge Singers are known for their uniformity and just their incredible sound and their harmonization. And I mentioned that they're a really well-respected northern-style drumming group, and because of this, they're often asked to be the host drum at powwows across North America. And the host drum at a powwow, it's a great honor because they're responsible for playing the music that people dance to, performers compete to, and their songs start and end the powwow. So it's a rich tradition, and it's a real honor to be the host drum. And oftentimes the Black Lodge Singers are requested to be the host drum because of how well known they are. And so it's a great honor for them. And because they're a northern drum group, their music exemplifies traditional northern attributes such as high vocals and smaller drums. And so you might have heard some of that in the two sound snippets that I just played, the Twinkle Twinkle Little Star and the SpongeBob SquarePants. And as you can tell, SpongeBob SquarePants was not a Native American a song or tradition, and so the Black Lodge Singers are extremely innovative, and that's kind of what they're known for, just combining their traditional song with modern lyrics and incorporating younger renditions of classic songs. And so that's why they've been able to create excitement in the younger generation, and so that's why the Black Lodge Singers have just been really instrumental in keeping alive the Native American music tradition. And so I also mentioned a little bit about powwows. The concept of the powwow originated among the Plain Indians who inhabited the Great Plains from the southern prairies of Canada to the lower plains of Texas. And so most Plains tribes in the summer held ceremonies in which the bands, clans, and kinsmen would gather to renew intra-tribal alliances. And so this was really important because it helped create stronger bonds amongst the tribes, and it was a showing of goodwill to visit the annual powwows held by these various tribes. And so the sentiment is really what kind of counts there. And a powwow is a secular dance performance, featuring variations of the war dance, which have become increasingly popular in social gatherings, as I mentioned, particularly in the post-World War II era, and that's just kind of important to note. Due to the really unfortunate Indian Removal Act of 1830, Native Americans were displaced, and they were prevented from their sacred ceremonial grounds. They were kept from those grounds, and so a lot of traditions and songs and things were killed off through disease, separation, and so the United States played a large role in kind of reducing the Native American culture in a way. And so that's one of the greatest injustices in American history, is kind of just the displacement of Indians and the poor treatment that the government showed them in the 18 and 1900s. And so powwows today are just a great way to bring different tribesmen together, and to just enjoy song, dance, and the presence and tradition that their ancestors passed down to them. So powwows are just a great social gathering to really keep the tradition alive and to keep the younger generations to really understand where they came from and kind of a lot of their traditions. So powwows are very important, and as I mentioned, the Black Lodge Singers are often the host drum at powwows. And now I'm gonna segue a little bit and talk more about how men and women have completely different roles in Native American music. For example, women are not allowed to drum in sacred or traditional ceremonies. And this can be exemplified in powwows where the northern host drum and the southern host drums are circles of men beating the drum, with women standing behind or nearby. And so as I researched Native American gender roles more in depth, I kind of realized that the difference in the ability to drum it isn't sexist. It's simply that the Native Americans have traditional or are traditional in the sense that men and women just simply hold different roles within their culture. So it has nothing to do with their lack of ability or anything like that. It's just simply men and women in the Native American culture just hold different roles. And so there are ceremonies to also honor women. You know, an example of one is once a woman has her first menstrual cycle. And so that would be a ceremony where they honor women, and women are held in the highest importance in Native American culture because they have the ability to procreate, which just means that they can extend the next generation of Native Americans, and so women play a really vital role in Native American culture, and in particular for the Black Lodge Singers, Kenny Robe, who is the one who founded the band, and his 12 sons are always the ones drumming on their tracks. While his wife is heard singing in the background of several songs on a seldom amount throughout a couple of their albums. And so, you know, hopefully I've informed you a little bit about Black Lodge Singers, powwows, and gender roles in Native American culture. And just kind of to bring it all together, you know, powwows are a ceremonial representation of some of their ancestors' traditions, and groups like the Black Lodge Singers help pass down those traditions to younger generations while managing to incorporate their renditions of modern American classics, which help engage the youth. And, you know, lastly, I touched on how gender roles intertwine in Native American music, and how the Black Lodge Singers exemplify this tradition throughout all of their songs. And so it's important for me to reiterate that gender roles have been grounded in decades of tradition, and each gender has its own roles and responsibilities amongst the tribe, and no one gender is more important or significant. It's nothing like that. And so I just wanted to wrap up by saying, you know, throughout this semester, I was educated on Native American music and culture, and, you know, throughout my research on this paper, I learned a lot more. And the 3 topics that I talked about in this presentation in my paper were just things that kind of were interesting to me and that captivated me. And so I really hope you enjoyed my paper and my presentation. I really enjoyed your semester, and so, you know, have a great summer. Thanks.